Yeah, yeah. All right. Last bit of homework for the week, and then we're done. More practice with division. You should be on page 112 and 113. And I like this because it gives us 3 chances to practice this division at home all by ourselves. Use what Mr. Graham taught you. Look at this area model. You're going to do the same thing. There's subtraction inside the box. There's multiplication. 8 times 10 equals 80. There's more multiplication. 8 times 3 equals 24. There's subtraction. There's a final answer when you add that stuff up at the end. There's all kinds of stuff that you have to remember and get used to. And if you practice, I promise you will get good at it. You will, you will, you will, you will. But we got to practice first. So let's get started. First problem on 112. Hold on a second, it's in my throat. Sorry about that. All right. A tailor has 641 yards of material to make costumes. Each costume needs 3 yards of material. How many costumes can be made? Will there be material left over? Okay. This is asking what's the answer. This is asking what's the remainder. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. So let's take our box for area model division. Area model division. And we put 641 in the box. That's the number that we are dividing by. And then we take this 3 right here on the side. La-da-da-da-da. And we have to ask ourselves what times what will get us close to 641? Or 3 times what will get us close? Now think about all the times tables you know. Does anything equal like a 60-something? Maybe not. I know 3 times 10 is 30. I know that, Mr. Graham. I know 3 times 20 is 60. And even if you didn't know that, you know, you can use something else, but 3 times 20 is a good idea because look, what's 3 times 2? That's 6. Then just don't forget that 0 gets added on. 3 times 20 is 60. We can use that. 3 times 20 is 60. And then you go, wait. That's not big enough. This is 3 digits. This is 2 digits. We'll just add 1 more 0. And then you can add 1 more 0 in there too. So 3 times 200 is 600. Now we can subtract. That's very easy subtraction. You can do it by looking. 1 minus 0 is 1. 4 minus 0 is 4. And 6 minus 6 is nothing. So now we're left with 41. So can we get to 41 with 3s? Let's do 3 times 10. Why not? 3 times 10 equals 30. That got us close to 41, but we're not quite there. So let's subtract again. 1 minus 0 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. Now we're at 11. We can do 3 times 3. You know why? Because I'm thinking about what gets you close to 11. 3 times 3, that equals 9, and that's super close to 11. 3 times 3 is 9. 11 minus 9 is 2. Uh-oh. That's a small number. We can't even go on because that's so small, 3 can't fit inside of it. That's our remainder. So we have to add up all the partial products on top. We get 210 and 3 for 213 with the remainder of 2. And let's double check on a calculator. 641 divided by 3. 641 divided by 3. 213 with some decimal. That's what the remainder is. So good. We did a good job. So solution, it's a word problem. Let's use words to answer it. How many costumes can be made? You can make 213 costumes with 2 material remaining. That's our remainder. 2 yards of material, I should have said, with 2, because that's what it said in the problem. 2 yards of material remaining. All right, that's a good answer. And the hardest part of this is not the steps. The hardest part of this is the mental multiplication. And if you're not good at subtraction, I guess that can be a challenge too. The prize place has 252 toys to be divided equally among 6 piñatas. How many toys will go into each piñata? All right, no problem. Make the box too big. Too big! I mean, not too big, too close to that part. There we go, I like that better. Inside is going to be a 252. Outside is going to be a 6. So here we go. 6 can go into 252 how many times? Or in other words, let's multiply 6 times something. 6 times, I don't know, what can get you close to like 225? 6 times 4? 6 times 4 equals 24. But we don't want it to be 24, because look how big that number. We want it to be 240. So no problem. Don't do 6 times 4. Do 6 times 40. That gives you 240 because you added those zeros. And that's a much bigger number, and that's what we need. So 6 times 40 equals 240. Two minus 0, 5 minus 4. Oh wow, we're almost done already because we're so close already. Good job, good job. All we have is 12 left. And how many times does 6 go into 12? I mean, do you even have to think about that hard? 6 times what equals 12? 6 times 2 equals 12. Guess what, guys? 12 minus 12 is 0. And if you get that, you're done. Make sure you add your partial products on top, and you should get an answer of 42. No remainder, because we got to 0. So let's do that in a calculator real quick. 252 divided by 6 to make sure we did it right. 252 divided by 6, 42. Hip hip hooray. That was the easy one. I'll take that. I love easy ones like that. Final answer, they probably want some words. So how many toys will go into each piñata? Okay, we have 42, so we'll just say 42 toys go into each piñata. Thank you very much. Dang, we're ready to move on. This is not so bad. This is not so bad. If you're good with your times tables. If you're not, oh boy, better practice. There are 1,275 people trying out for a show. The director needs to put people in 5 waiting rooms. If each room has the same number of people, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Let's do our area model, our division area model again. I didn't mean to make it that big. The computer lagged out on me. We'll put 1,275 in the box and 5 outside of the box. Now, I like to think of this as counting by 5s, but with extra zeros at the end. For example, 5 times 10 can get you 50. But what could 5 times 100 give you? That can get you 500. Ooh. And 5 times 1,000 can get you 5,000. So you got to start thinking that way. So I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking 5 times 2 is a good start. You know why? Because 5 times 2 is 10. But wait, Mr. Graham, it's almost like you're ignoring the 7 and the 5. Do you think that's a 12, Mr. Graham? What do you do? No. I thought about it for a second like it was a 12, but I'm not forgetting the 7 and the 5. I'm going to add on zeros to the top. So it's a 200, and that means I can add on zeros to the bottom. Now it's a big enough number. 1,275 minus 1,000. Let's do that subtraction. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 0 is 7. 2 minus 0 is 2. and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we're not done yet. We got to think about 275. 275. I'm going to look at these first two numbers again. Ignore the 5 for just a second. Look at those first two numbers. 27, yeah? 5 times 5 can get you really close to 27 because that equals 25. What about this part right? Relax. Put a 0. Put a 0. Ah, see how close we are now? 275 minus 250. Oh boy, I'm out of space. I'm going to have to make a really weird area model with the box coming down here. Whatever. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 minus 2 is nothing. So we got 25 left over. This just became really easy. I can totally think of something 5 times blank equals 25. 5 times 5 equals 25. With no remainder left over. Got to add all of these up. All of these partial products on top. 200 plus 50 plus 5 is 255. We got it right. I know that we did. Awan, or I'm not exactly sure, but I hope I'm close, chose D as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? Oh my gosh, Awan. I know what Awan did. Look where we started with 1,275. You know what Awan did? Awan did 1,275, and then he took this 5 right here. He did 1,275 minus 5 equals 1,270. I'm done, Mr. Graham. No, Awan! No! That's not it at all. You didn't do any of this stuff that we did. That's not, no, Awan. Incorrect, Awan. You disappoint me. So instead, we got to say Awan is wrong because he subtracted when he was supposed. Oop, I totally spelled that wrong. I'm such a bad speller. But he was supposed to divide with an area model. So check that out. Awan is not as smart as you and me are. We're the best. Awan. Bleh. Alright guys, that's all the time we have for homework tonight. Keep practicing. You can do it. I'll see you next time. So long.